What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Jack Ramsays postgame show. Danny Marang, Brandon Sprague, Blazers fall. They compete 104-94 the Golden State Warriors in what was a very ugly game where I guess the Blazers technically shot over 40%. Oh, no, there it is. Okay. I thought it failed to update there for a second, but 40.7% for the Portland Trail Blazers and a woeful 39.8% for the Warriors. Warriors were very sloppy. Finished the game with 15 turnovers. The Blazers were 16, and I believe we didn't get. I thought we had 44. We had 39 total fouls called in this game.
Ugh.
It was a ugly slogfest of a game where no one was really interested. Steph was 6 of 17, didn't get his 18th three up. Norm couldn't hit anything. Nurk couldn't finish a layup. So it was just it was a really ugly basketball game. Really ugly basketball
Yeah, but we had the Nas game.
We had a Nas half.
Well, yes. But if I would have told you he finished a whole game with 18 points, you would have said that's a good game. He got that in a half.
Listen, he had a game scores worth of points and rebounds. 18 and 6 of 10 from the free throw line was really the only drawback to his game, other than when he got a bit of a calf cramp and scared the living piss out of me.
I don't think you were the only one.
Oh man, after watching him kind of deal with it for a couple possessions, I was like, that's how Achilles go. Like as someone who's literally dealt with an Achilles, it's just hey. But overall, it went better than expected. The Blazers covered, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, there it is. They covered the number.
So if you took that number, congratulations. I took the over, and it did not work.
Yeah, Matt said a loss by only 10 feels like a win.
Yeah,
it does.
It does. That's unfortunate, to say the least. Welcome in to everybody who's just getting in here right now. If you haven't already, please like, rate, review, subscribe. Do all of the things. If you're watching here on YouTube Live, click the subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're watching the replay, click the subscribe button. It's free. Help us grow. Spread our wings like a butterfly. I know butterflies die in the winter, but we're a different butterfly.
Subscribe to the dead bug.
Yeah, the dead bugs. Overall, what is your big takeaway from tonight's game? Outside of Nassir Little. We'll spend a little bit of time talking about Nassir in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, let me take my socks off. It's Mr. Rogers time.
Listen, man, I'm a Crocs guy, so I can't reach down and actually put shoes on right now. What?
Is it just because of the injury?
Yeah. So you got...
Like, you choose to wear Crocs?
Croc life, baby.
But, like,
two-wheel
non-injured?
drive, four-wheel drive.
So if you didn't have a hip problem, you'd wear those Crocs?
Yeah, because I still have knee problems.
Oh, my God.
Have you worn them?
Yeah, they're awful.
They're incredibly comfortable.
No, Jordan slides are comfortable. Okay.
I got a pair of those, too. Thank you.
I'm just kidding. I like to give you grief. So here's my takeaway outside of Nas.
Okay.
2 games now. They haven't won. They've lost by double digits. So bear with me here.
Kept that going.
Feel like at some point in the next 10 minutes, we're going to get I really liked the energy. I really liked the effort comment.
It's actually already out there.
Okay. So
he was proud of the effort.
Exactly. So I think that's my thing is it's not resulting in wins. It is not something that's going to win you a playoff series, a championship, or anything. But the one thing that we know Chauncey's been preaching for like the last 10 to 13 games has been effort. And certain guys have been out, and the coach has noted what the effort has been. So outside of Nassir Little, that's kind of my takeaway. It was a group of guys that had no business really even being close with a team like Golden State, and they fought. They weren't perfect. They had some bad turnovers, some miscues, but they fought. And that's, I think, what you like to see as a team not completely tank it and give up.
John Sherman says, Norm with a career-high 2 assists. He really is trying to fill CJ's shoes past the ball. John, I'm going to fight you on this one. I'm going to fight you pretty damn hard. They are missing 60 shots? 70 shots? Damn near? A night? Somebody's got to get shots up, and I am struggling to find who is going to take those outside of Norman Powell. Nas goes down, and Norm is like, whoop!
Yeah. Well, question for you, and throw John on this one too, since he brought that up. Who did we want Norm to pass to tonight?
That's what I'm saying. Like, who's taking those shots tonight? Nobody. And Norm ended up with 5 assists. He did. Honestly, the bigger problem.
That's a good night for a guy like Norm. 5 assists is a good night.
Yeah, it's a great night. And here's the thing: if he hits like 2, maybe 3 threes, hell, they're in this game, like really in this game. But his box score looks significantly. If the only thing you did to his box score was add 2 threes, so instead of going 1 for 7, he went 3 for 7. He'd have 32 points and 5 assists, and he'd been 10 of 23 because he got to the free throw line. He would have Damian Lillard kind of night.
Damn.
So that's what we talk about. And you and I talked about this on the Gamecast, like the idea of like the hierarchy of how good guys are at the very top to eat up 20 shots a night. Everybody talks about, oh, well, if they just move this or if they do that, it's not how it works. Guys get that many shots because they need to take that many shots. There's just not enough creation. There's not enough playmaking. There's not enough the other stuff on this team. And so if you take Dame away, which is massive, you take CJ away, that's a lot. I mean, your shot creation literally falls on Ant, Larry, Dennis Smith Jr., and Norm. None of those guys are volume creators. If they were volume creators, they would be on other teams as volume creators.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Nance Jr. is a connector. Dennis Smith Jr. is a journeyman. Anthony Simons is still learning to develop that. None of those guys are primary run your offense guys.
Right.
And Evan says, I wish Dame passed more too. Not even that. I don't wish Dame passed more because you know what Dame's really good at?
Scoring.
Really good at it. Stupidly good. One of the most efficient scorers ever.
Sorry.
No, I was just saying, you're talking about a guy who's a 90% free throw shooter who gets to the free throw line is a nearly career 40% three-point shooter on volume. Like, if you're talking about efficient scorers in NBA history, he's way up there. I don't care about him passing more.
Dame is more Tony Parker than Chris Paul.
Yes.
Like, Tony Parker was a really damn good basketball player. He wasn't like a top assist getter ever. I think Tony Parker averaged 6 to 7 assists. So I think he had a couple seasons at 8, but like, that's kind of what Dame's been too. You go look at his history. He's not that kind of point guard. He's a different kind of point guard.
Which I think that's more modern point guards. There's not going to be another Chris Paul for a very long time.
No, he's unique. He's an all-time legend.
I talked about this on Twitter before the game. Playmaking has become the new scarcity in the NBA. There's been an entire generation of Steph Currys now.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes coming up can shoot the hell out of the ball. Shooting is not a market inefficiency anymore. Like, you can't just like hoard all the shooting and you don't have any more shooting. Like, you've got a bunch of guys who can like pack the paint against. Now you've got shooters for days. What you don't have are guys who could create, and not only for themselves, but for others. So that's why all of a sudden a LaMelo Ball looks so special.
Yeah.
Is because you're like, oh, wow, what is that? It's so different. I haven't seen that in a while.
By the way, just since we're on the note, like, Dame is averaging a career high in assists this year. So still, that being said, like, he's not that kind of player. He has actually been doing that. He just hasn't been hitting his usual long range threes. Like, that's part of his story this year.
And John says off player movement, he could get Nance or Nurk in a layup if he passed it back. Here's the counter I'll have to that, because this is something I see a lot. The whole idea of it being that simple, number one, is false. Number two, teams have trapped Damian Lillard to get the ball out of his hands in 2 guys, 4-on-3, for the last 6 years. He passes to those guys on short rolls a lot. Jusuf Nurkic has struggled, and he got his ass kicked by Draymond Green again tonight. Mm-hmm. He struggled to finish over guys smaller than him on consistent matchups in the paint. And that's been Portland's problem, is that outside of LaMarcus, they have not had a guy get him the ball or get the ball out of his hands to a guy who could do more with it. Like, trapping Damian Lillard and getting in CJ McCollum's hands, like, that's kind of a win for the defense, even as good of a scorer as he is. Because whoosh, blinders are on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a new era in the NBA. It's a new Damian Lillard. There's a lot of different things. I've seen a few people complaining about the officiating tonight. Scott Foster sucks, but you look at the minutes. Norm played 43. Dennis Smith Jr. played 42. how Norm played that many minutes and only got 1 foul is beyond me because he grabs the hell out of people.
I thought the officiating was meh.
I thought it was crappy on both ends, but I didn't think it was like heavy-handed.
I've seen worse.
Oh God, yeah. And Nurk had 6 fouls, and he grabbed and reached, and he was gassed all night long. I think Draymond just whooped him, just running up and down the floor.
Yeah, put Scott Foster in a championship moment, and then you'll see a difference.
He'll let you know he's there.
He's a Game 7 player, baby. He's ready to go.
Miguel says, I got 4 pairs of Crocs. There you go. Listen, man.
Hey, look, it's a popular shoe. I'm not going to argue that.
Have you worn a pair?
Yes. My thing is not about comfort. It is really about look. I look awful in Crocs.
Wow, you must have bad feet because Crocs make everybody look good.
Oh, what? Okay, no. I actually have.
You trying to kill my Croc money from me? What are you doing here?
Hey, if you're gonna get it, you're the lone endorser of it. Downer Danny here for Crocs, and you know what picks me up when I'm feeling down? Crocs.
Had hip surgery? Crocs.
Got to take a piss at night? Crocs.
Hey, that is like puppy life. They are right next to the bed, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Yeah. Joey asked, do you think Dame will play Sunday? Yes.
Yes.
That is kind of the point of the shot, is he's going to have 3 days to work that thing in there.
That's what the Haynes report said. Get the cortisone shot, take the days, be ready for Sunday.
Yeah. So, all right, let's talk about some fun stuff. Oh, shout out Mike. Mike just became a member. I appreciate you, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Fun stuff. We only got a half of it because the cramp that sucked went around the world. Nassir Little finishes with 18.6 rebounds, 5 of 8, 2 of 4 from 3, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. The big thing I took away from this was, I don't know if Chauncey was like, hey, Nas, I need you to go out there and be that dude, or Nas is like, ain't nobody else going to do this, so I'm going to whomp and just all gas, no brakes. But from the opening tip, he was hair on fire. He was walking that line of, remember when Nas first got real burn, and you're like, I need you to rein that in just a little bit. It was opening night. There was the first 2 games. I think he was a little sideways, and you had to, hey, I know you're excited, big fella. Just need you to slow it down a little bit. Tonight, he was just peaked, but just off that rev limit, right where you want him. And man, did it look good.
I mean, he gave you 62% from the field and 50% from 3, gave you 18 in the first half. I thought he was really active defensively. Mm-hmm. He's obviously still attacking the glass. And I'll say this, I think this is the other element of it. He's a young player who kind of got robbed of a lot of games last year. He just missed 2 games. So I think he came in with a mindset of, I'm getting right back to where I was. He's had a good year. He's shown real good development. He's still real good growth.
Going up, trending up.
Yes, I don't think this is the best Nassir Little. I think he's getting there, but I think that was a big part of tonight. You get to play in Golden State. That's kind of an always big game. It's ESPN, and you haven't played for 2 nights. Like, this is your opportunity with Dame and CJ out.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what had to be on his mind in that regard. Is just, hey, this is my chance. And this is kind of why I wanted Ant to be out there right now, too. Because
I was going to say, if Ant was playing, he probably would have tried to cook tonight.
Yeah, I think that's a real opportunity for what's going on. And that block that he had on Poole, we saw it live, and that was how we started the watch party. And my God, I didn't think there was a chance in hell that he got that clean. And then they showed the replay, and he just caught it.
This big old bear mitt on it.
That was fantastic. I saw somebody in here say, take a shot every time Danny makes a sound effect. Don't do that. You will not make it through the night. You will not make it through the night. I make a lot of sound effects, and it's just – Sprague and I have talked about this a couple of times. If I always wanted to be a cartoon voice growing up.
It seems like a really fun life.
Yeah, I mean, what was it, Mrs. Doubtfire, where you see Robin Williams doing it in the background, has that meltdown? God. I love that.
Yes.
Turns into the anti-smoking campaign.
Dude, top 5 favorite movies of all time, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Toodaloo!
Figaro!
Oh, it's fantastic. John Sherman says, so when Norm was out and it was just CJ, why do you hate him for all of his shot attempts? There's 2 different things about this.
Please explain yourself, you hate.
One is Norman Powell being paid to be the second best player on this team.
No, but he's a very close.
I don't think there's that, like, you're not splitting hairs between those two guys. But the pecking order is very clearly CJ McCollum. If you're signing Norman Powell, you are not signing Powell to be your creator. It's the same thing about signing Wesley Matthews in his prime. You're saying, I want you to do two things. I want you to score when you have the ball, and I want you to play defense. That's what I'm signing you for. I'm not signing you to create. CJ McCollum was signed to create, to get others involved, to be an engine within the offense. Norman Powell is a play ender. CJ McCollum is supposed to be more than that. That's why he's paid $30+ million.
Or he's just looked at as a scorer, and it's Neil's boy, so he gave him a contract.
Again, that's what we're saying. John says excuses. No, that's not excuses, John. That's reality.
We had enough. What I would say to what you just said, though, is we had enough of a sample size to know that dude was never going to be a playmaker.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. He's paid to be one. That's not excuses. That's
no. I think you're misconstruing me.
No.
I don't think he got paid under the premise that he was going to be a playmaker. I think he got paid because he's Neil's guy.
I actually go away from that a little bit. I think that played a massive part in it. But what he sold CJ as, I think that's a bigger issue.
Yeah, well, and you could, I think it'd be fair to ask the question, did he really see it, or was he publicly saying that? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. And John says that CJ is signed to get others involved. Yes, he is. He is signed to be more than a scorer. Find me anybody in the NBA whose sole purpose in life is getting buckets at $30 million on a team that matters.
Well, the team has to matter.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, there are guys on bad deals who don't care. That happens.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about being on a team where it matters, yes. That's what he was paid to do. So, that was kind of the fun part of the game was Nas.
I mean, really, for me, Nas was kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they hung around, but Nas was kind of it in terms of fun.
Yeah, it pretty much was. I was hoping Nurk could shake the Draymond-itis.
No.
That didn't happen.
That's a mindset. That's a mindset versus a mindset.
It's not there. And John Sherman says Donovan Mitchell. Well, Donovan Mitchell's a better defender and better all-around player than CJ too. He contributes then more than just scoring, which is kind of gets to my point. John. Trust me. This is not a. I don't want to say a fight because it's not a fight, but this is not an agreement or an argument. You're not gonna win.
Just shake hands and we'll go our separate ways. There's an agree to disagree situation going on right now.
There's you can compare guys across the NBA and you can see where CJ falls short in pretty much all of them. Let's look forward. The Blazers now have 3 days off, Brandon. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then a game on Sunday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And Timberwolves are a little irritable right now because they just got throttled in Utah.
They've really come down to earth a little bit.
Yeah, Pat Bev was talking about how Rudy Gobert is an underrated defender after they beat him by 30. So, Pat Bev is doing Pat Bev things. I'm glad.
Do you want to bring Pat Bev to Portland?
God, no.
Add him to our guard rotation?
God, no.
Okay.
There's not a player in the NBA I want on Portland less than Pat Beverly.
Really?
Yes, I despise his very existence. I think he's incredibly overrated, and beyond that, he's dirty.
Yes, he is dirty.
Between now and then, Damian Lillard should be back. Ant could be back. Nas could be back.
If it's just cramps, you'd imagine 3 days is enough time for that to subside and for him to play again.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not buying that? You think you don't think it's cramps?
Nas has had bad luck.
Okay,
that's what I'll say.
That's fair.
Andrew says we went over this when you weren't here, Sprague. Danny hates Beverly. Yeah, that was the one that you were going.
No, I know you hate Beverly.
Yeah,
I
think we went. I went on a little bit of a rant there. Also, Dylan Smith says you have a super punchable face.
Me?
Well, Sprague has a super punchable face. That's what it says here in the comments.
Okay. Okay. I don't even know how to react to that. Thank you.
I mean,
What can I do to? Can I do anything to work on that? Or
I don't know. Maybe you got to get like a chin implant. Like you get that hard jawline, then it becomes like unpunchable. Does that make sense?
No. I literally don't know what to do to that comment. Not have a punchable face.
Andrew says I'm not buying the cramps. I'm buying the cramps because if it was worse, I would have gotten a text message from somebody.
It probably would have been very vague too with the description of further evaluation.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They said cramps, so that's and here you go. You're getting a little bit of support here. It says, "Hey, Sprague's face is nice. What the heck? You have a nice face, Brandon."
Just it's very random comment to drop in the middle of what we were talking about.
Listen, man.
Whatever.
Sometimes it happens. Evan James says facial hair might make it better for you.
I can't grow facial hair. Like I wish I was joking. I'm really not. Like it literally does not grow here or here. It grows a little right here, and then I get like a disgusting mustache. That's about it.
The comments are now pouring in now that you really need to work on that face of yours.
Okay, I'll do what I can. I'll take the 3 days.
I was saying, much like the Trailblazers, over the next 3 days, you got a lot of work.
I tell you what I'll do. I'll make an offer to these people that want to hit me in the face for some reason. I would advocate you need therapy because it sounds like you're a very violent individual.
What if your therapy was punching you in the face?
Yeah, I would say like take up a hobby that involves MMA or boxing, not like hitting people for literally no reason. I tell you what I'll do though. I will go get a cortisone shot in my face, and we'll see if that changes maybe the way my face sits, and then we'll be good.
Okay. Dylan says he's sorry, Sprague. I'm a huge fan, but I know you from radio. So he says he's sorry.
I will always accept an apology. I don't know what the latter half of that comment is.
I think he meant that as a listener and not as a stalker.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
The chance he could be a Duck fan because I've pissed them off before.
Yeah, that'll happen. Jesse
By the way,
Diaz,
I hope they hire Chip Kelly because that's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm all here for that.
The
Jesse
conference
Diaz,
would cheer that on.
Listen, I'd hate to see him leave UCLA. That's for sure. Jesse Diaz says, "You see Larry smashing the ball into the ground. He looked mad, caveman mad."
He got beat. He got beat on that play.
Yeah, Brandon and I were watching that one. If you guys weren't there for the live show, game cast, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. I'll brand it something. But yeah, he got a little too high and it looked like he maybe reached a little bit, and then he realized he got beat because there's nobody back behind him because he was the 5, and he got mad at himself. He wasn't mad at anybody else. He was just mad at himself. That's Larry in a nutshell. I thought he had a pretty meh game. I thought that he looked good as a playmaker. Otherwise, he struggled with some other stuff.
And listen, it's nice to have Steph and Draymond, so don't take this way out of context. But it's a little frustrating to see that team have that run they had, and then go right into the ditch, and everybody's kind of dancing on the grave, and then 2 years later they're back.
Well, that's what happens when you restock an entire roster over a course of a year and a half.
That's crazy that you can change your roster with superstar players on it. I didn't know that was possible.
Okay, here's a quick exercise.
Let me ask Dylan this: more punchable face, me or Neil?
Oh, I mean,
that's the question.
Listen, nobody. The only person who maybe has a more punchable face is Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks.
I don't think Dylan Brooks has a punchable face.
Really, the hair drops, like the little curled hair drops, and I immediately I just see red.
Dylan Brooks looks like his face hurts to punch.
Does it? I don't know. He got kind of a soft face like me. Little round cheeks. Not
Beverly's up there for me.
Oh, for sure. But I mean,
and that's
just
more about the
punchable.
antics, I think, than the face. Yeah.
You brought something up that I think is really interesting about the Warriors. Now that I think about this, if I looked at this roster 2 years ago, how many of these guys were actually on this team? 3?
How many years? 2, you said?
So 2018, 19.
I'm trying to remember when they got Wiggins.
I think it was right after that.
Okay, so if Wiggins was off, 1, 2, 3.
It's like Steph, Dre, and Looney.
Counting Clay.
Yeah. Well, Clay's not active, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, I think that's it. It's Toscana Anderson was a G League guy, right?
Yeah, same with Poole.
Yep.
Bielitz is a free agent. Porter's a free agent. Obviously, GP2, Chioza, Damian Lee. Like, their entire team is different.
I think it's 4 guys. If you're counting Clay, it's 3 if you don't.
That's just and like the number of like dudes that they have added in the same time span is just it's insane.
How much does not let me ask you this then.
And that's without Wiseman, Moody, or Kuminga.
I know. How much does it help a team, or how much of an advantage is it for a team? What?
I was just like that just dawned on me, like, no Clay, no Wiseman, no Kuminga, no Moody.
Dude, yeah.
And you still have that team. And it's just like, oh my God, man.
How much of an advantage, though, is it for a team like that has a direct G League pipeline versus the Blazers playing the, hey, spread it out, we'll get you where you get you? Because Santa Cruz, not very far.
It does matter.
Yeah.
But it's not like the Blazers have been bad at developing talent.
No, I know. I'm just, you kind of look at the dudes they have from the G League, and it's like, those are some dudes now.
That the Blazers have wasted maybe a pipeline for two-way player development, which it looks like they're remotely caring about now. But yeah, no, the Warriors are kind of the gold standard with the G League because they've got the Santa Cruz team right there. The Lakers actually do a really good job with that too. They throw guys like THT down there and get them real burn, and all of a sudden Caruso
was a G League guy.
Now Reeves, they're good at doing that.
Right.
They said that your audio is peaking. Sprague audio peaking randomly always perks me up. Probably also has to do with the fact that we're on Zoom and I don't have us through a mixer. So I've
Should I back it up then?
I think you're okay. I try to stay at the same spot on my mic, but I
feel like I have it kind of close.
Yeah.
Something like this.
It is what it is.
I don't want to have bad audio, though. So
No, we don't want to. But Zoom makes it a little bit weird, and I don't have us through a mixer. And once we get in the studio, then it goes through a mixer. And there we go. Jalen Horde was watching the game tonight and was cheering on Nas, so that's always cool to see. Jalen was a guy I thought could stick around in the NBA. He's bounced around a little bit, but
yeah.
So let's get back on track on the basketball side of things here real quick. If you're looking at the next 3 days, this, I think, is your opportunity for a trade. I don't know if it's going to be the trade, the CJ trade, but I think over the next 72 hours heading into Sunday, I would not be surprised to see somebody moved.
I just don't know what that move is, and I think that's the toughest thing.
Part of this is right now is I think they just need to make a move. And you don't like to be in that position. It sucks. But I think that's where it's at. Have you gone there?
I mean, I've been there. I was there before.
A move for move's sake?
Yeah, I was there in the summer. Like, I thought there was a good move they could make. It'd be a swing, but I just also was in there because I knew Simmons was struggling. He was dealing with the mental stuff with the team and everything. And I heard and I saw the arguments of people who didn't want it, and I get it. Made sense. But you can't lose to the Denver Nuggets in that fashion. Like that was your clearest of clear signs that this was over. And I reached the point. It's like, make the move to make the move. Just to shake it up, just to see if it's different. Like, it's not great to play the game that way, but I think in certain instances, it has to happen. And this team refused to do it so many different times that they should have done it this last summer to try to make up for that. And they didn't.
Cooper Ching brings up a really good, I think, comparison for what you're talking about right here. There's a move to make a move that can make sense. Was it 3 years ago? They had the Bazemore for Ariza move because it was becoming very clear that, oh crap, this team is in trouble, and Baze was not great. So you do the swap for Ariza, and Ariza obviously ends up netting Covington. Mm-hmm. But that was a move for move's sake. Like, Ariza was washed.
Yep.
Washed.
But Bazemore, I think, was shooting like 28% from three.
But Bazemore was still an athlete.
Yeah.
Ariza was not playing. It was we need to do something. Can we find somebody above 6'5"? It's hilarious that we're still playing that game.
There's a height requirement, and 6'3" is not little.
Yeah. But yeah, you can. That's the kind of move they're probably going to have to make. Now, it's not going to be quite that drastic as far as like, has somebody got somebody on their bench that they're not using? Like, Cov's above that level of production. Like, it's been bad, but he's above that level.
I said this a couple times in the pregame. I go back to the low Pelton pod, and they just didn't really name anybody of significance for guys like Cov, Nurk, or CJ. Like, it really was, what team is that wants to bring in Robert Covington right now? I think, to your point, there's some good teams that think maybe they add Rocco to their rotation.
Like, if Cov's coming off your bench, you're doing awful good.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing to have Rocco coming off the bench. So I don't know what team it is. I don't know what player it is, but yeah, I've been at the point of make a move to make a move.
So, and again, I'm not going on any insider stuff right now, guys. Like, I can't find heads or tails of what's going on right now with the Blazers as far as what's going to happen.
Right.
Like, it's just the old contacts and knowing how Neil operates and who he talks to.
Yeah.
That's all gone. Joe is a back office guy who I don't have a bunch of folks who have relationships with him, so
he seems like he kind of keeps to himself and just does his job.
Yeah, which great for the team. Horrible if you're trying to find stuff out. So
we're not reporters, Danny.
Yeah, not media Danny. I have my non-media hat on right now. It's when I take the hat off that I'm media Danny. We'll get out of here on that just because we did the live show as well. First of all, thank you guys to everybody who did. Thank you to everybody that's in here, because the fact that we're at this position now is just absolutely incredible. We just crushed some major milestones on the podcast side, and that's all thanks to you guys and helping us grow this community. It has been absolutely rad. We did a little bit longer than actually planned on for the live show for the game cast today. And I thought it went awesome. You loved it, right, Sprague?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to doing a whole game. Looking forward to hopping back on that thing. And, you know, we're very grateful. Like, honestly, we love to joke. We like to have fun. I know I have a punchable face. I love to roll with that. Like, it is what it is. Blame my dad. But we had a lot of fun tonight, and the growth of the pod has been fantastic. Without you guys, it's amazing, man. Like, I feel like every time I check my Twitter, you guys are shooting a question or you're making a comment, and I love it.
Or posting a picture of you guys watching the show at home or on your phone, or it's rad.
Those are our favorites. Like, honestly, we've seen some cool photos, and that's badass. So thank you. Like, I'm really fucking tired right now. I got to be honest with you, but
yeah, we're going to get you out of here.
It's good to hang with you guys, and we're looking forward to getting some more people maybe into the next watch party, and, just keep the community growing.
Yeah, our memberships are up, and Sprague's eyes are going down. So just remember, folks, he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning to do the morning radio show.
Yeah, it's not the weed. This is just dead tired.
Yes, we will go longer. We will do the full game on the live cast coming up. It's just a big-time commitment, and I wanted to make sure everything worked the first time. So it went flawless, and that's a testament to Playback and those guys. So we'll get out of here on that. So thank you all so very much. You can find us on social media at Danny Marang, at Brandon Sprague, at Jack Ramsays. Get your questions in now. We got no games between now and Sunday. We will do a live show tomorrow. I don't know what time yet. We'll figure it out. Is the Thursday football game, is it worth a crap tomorrow?
I think it is.
If it is, we'll go a little bit earlier so we don't kind of
maybe we end up doing like a 5 o'clock, because I think they usually start that. It is it's Steelers Vikings. Hey, that's a playoff game, because the Vikings have to win that.
That's
game.
true. Okay, I just want to make sure we don't step on anybody's toes or anything like that on a Thursday night game. We want your attention. We want it all, but I try to be nice. We'll get out of here on that. Thank you all so very much. So we'll go probably tomorrow at 5. I'll post up there and let you guys know. And if you have questions for the mailbag, get them in early, because I will be recording it before I take off, because I am out Sunday morning. And then I will be gone, and we'll have a bit of a weird schedule for just that week. And until I have hip surgery, we'll be back on schedule for everything else. So like, rate, review, subscribe. Help us grow the show. Share us with your friends. Share us with your family. Do all the things until tomorrow's live show, and then after that, we won't have anything until the